It's heartbreaking.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fast Start Training for Saturday morning. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with ZJ International. It's my privilege to welcome you. We're getting started a couple of minutes late, and about the best I can say about that is we're on island time, kind of still. Some of you realize I took a little break from home. It's my little respite from my responsibilities at home, and went off to a undisclosed island location. A couple of you had commented on a little picture that I posted on social media, and yes, it was a beautiful beach, and yes, I was the only person there. And the reason that so few people were there is because you got to have a four-wheel drive vehicle that can, you know, climb up a rock toe in a house to be able to get there. So anyway, again, we're going to get started here. What we're going to do this morning is we're going to share some information on, you know, something that was introduced to me here about 31 or 2 years ago. When I first got involved in this profession, I was a cross-country truck driver, looking for a way to create more financial prosperity and resources for me and my son, to have time freedom. And what I'm going to share with you is really the singular reason that it made sense for me to get involved in this profession. And before I jump into this, I want to do a couple of things here real quick. First of all, I want to welcome all the team members. Let's see who we got here. Oh, wow, we already got quite a few people in. I got somebody who, Laura Lee, I see you raised your hand. And sounds like you have the beach party going. Zaga, because somebody's going to ask. Zaga, Z-A-G-G-A, just like that, Zaga. Okay, now, I'm still trying to get adjusted to my home, my new home office. Let's see if we can get this thing doing this a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, a couple of quick things. First of all, I want to welcome all the team members. I want to thank all of you who have been so supportive of this time that I was not as engaged as normal. I was still doing calls, still doing Zoom meetings, but certainly with the time zone difference and having that freedom to spend a little time at the beach, I wasn't quite as engaged as normal. I am back and I'm ready to roll up my sleeves. Actually, I got my short sleeves on. Roll up my sleeves so we can do the deal. I want to do a very special shout out to one of our field leaders. You all recognize, or most of you should by now recognize, Amy McKenzie's name. Amy McKenzie has certainly become one of our top presenters, one of our top trainers. Certainly her success in the industry is, in particular with ZJ International, is well known. And I want to give a special shout out to her, thanking her for filling in for me. She did a great job standing in for me. It was a very big help to me in being able to get some free time. Now, also, let me take a quick look here before I get going. Let's shut this off. How do I do that? All right, very good. Oh my goodness, I see so many new people as well. People I don't recognize names. Excellent, excellent. Very, very cool. Well, listen, a very special welcome to the team members. In particular, a very special welcome to those of you that are brand new distributors. Perhaps this is your first opportunity to be part of a Saturday morning fast start training. I'm excited about all of the enrollments I've been seeing. Numbers just keep going up and up and up, which is amazing because this is summer, and in the summer is typically when you know, businesses of our type see, in some cases, significant reduction in numbers. If you can actually maintain your pace in a direct marketing company during the summer, that is considered excellent. We're blowing the doors off of that with ZJ International, and certainly within the organization that I represent. So kudos to all of you. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to jump into the training. We're going to go through this fairly briskly. I'm going to set it up to where you can take notes, because that's exactly what I did. Okay, 30 plus years ago, well, I didn't have a, you know, a fancy journal like this. I had a spiral bound notebook because they were cheap. Back then I could get like, I think 4 of them for $2 or some ridiculous thing. And that was my journal to start with. And I wrote this down, and here's the key. I wrote down the Saturday morning fast start training, and I started to implement it, started putting it into my daily method of operation. And as soon as I had new team members on board, I operated under this principle: in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And because I'd already had a couple of customers and a couple of distributors, I had experience, I had results. And I took my little one-page training, and I didn't wait till Saturday morning, or maybe my new distributor couldn't get into the little meeting room that we were at on Saturday morning, and I did the fast start training myself. And so this is what I encourage you to do. The way you become a leader is to take responsibility for the training of your team. Okay, and certainly we have vehicles like what we're doing right now, and meetings in the field and so on, but there is nothing that trumps your own personal responsibility for providing leadership to your team. And so this answers the question: how many times should I listen to the training? Until you're doing the training. That's how many times you should be listening to Saturday morning fast start training, until you're the one doing it. So the concepts that I'm going to share with you right now, these were the things that helped me realize that I could do this too. And certainly in the beginning, I had no idea of how far this industry, this profession of network marketing could carry me. At that time, I'll be candid with you, at that time, my understanding of wealthy was $10,000 a month, $100,000 a year. As I understood it at that time, that was rich, $100,000 a year. Now, going beyond that it was completely out of my frame of reference. I had no way to conceptualize, $10,000 a week. Frankly, it was hard for me to see $10,000 a month. I mean, I had to break it down into dollars per hour, so it was something I could, intellectually understand. So the reason that this is so important is because the vast majority of people that are going to become part of our organization, part of your team, they're going to be looking for, an extra $200 or $300 a week, $1,000 a month. That will change everything in most families' lives. And once you understand that, then you'll be able to do this business, because that's what the majority of people will join your business for. Don't be talking about making millions, because the vast majority of people have a hard time conceptualizing that. But if you can show somebody how to do, a few simple things, do a little bit of it for a while, they can make some money. Do a little bit more for a little bit longer period of time, and you can make more money. And here's the key: if you do enough of these simple things long enough, you could get rich. And this is the equal opportunity to allow everybody to participate, and to allow the people that want to rise to the higher levels to do so by simply doing the deal, enough of it long enough. And so let's talk about what we do. And in your notes, you should make this really clear. There's only 3 things that we do in our profession. Okay. Number 1, we share the product. That's what we do. We share our products. And we're fortunate to have, ZJ International with the science, the technology, the documentation about the power of our products, the leadership at the corporate end, putting together our natural health revolution. But we share our products. That's the first thing we do. Number 2, we share our opportunity. And number 3, we teach others to do the same. We share the product, we share the opportunity, and we teach others to do the same. Now, what's very interesting about that, that's really all we do. Now, are there other things we do? Well, yeah, when you get to a certain point in time, when you've got, large organizations, you're creating, substantial incomes for yourself, for your people, there are higher level leadership things that I've learned an awful lot about in this industry from my sponsor, David Moses. I mean, which is kind of interesting. You never get to a point in time, or you should never get to a point in time, where you stop learning. I was already a 7-figure income earner long before ZJ, from this industry. I retired after 10 years in the industry. But I learned more about high-level leadership concepts in the time I've been with Zija than I've ever learned before. So everybody keeps learning. But, 90% of what it takes to create significant levels of income boils down to these three activities: share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same. Okay? This is important to understand because it's also a great check. If you're doing something other than those three things to develop your Zija business, then you're probably off track. You've lost focus. The important ingredients: number one, share the product; number two, share the opportunity; number three, teach others to do the same. Now, break it down a little bit. How do we do that? Okay, again, number one, use the product. And I'm going to suggest you use all the products all the time. Okay, I use all the products all the time. In the beginning, I couldn't. Okay, in the beginning of that last company, the very first company I was with, couldn't afford to use all the products. I used the products that I could, and I used them all the time. And then as my income increased, I increased the use of the products. But first step is to use the products. Why? You need to experience the products. Okay, our business is not built upon successful direct salespeople that can learn product information, regurgitate that information, and close the deal. Okay, our business is based on the masses that aren't necessarily great salespeople or wouldn't even want to be great salespeople, but through their personal experience on the product and how they feel and how they look, and then sharing that with others. This has been the foundation of successful direct marketing organizations, is to take people that aren't salespeople and show them how to share their story. Okay, that's what this is all about. So use the products, number one. Number two, talk to people. Now this is real critical, and see, this applies to whether you're presenting the product, whether you're sharing the product, you're sharing the opportunity. You have to talk to people. I mean, you're going to have to just kind of trust me on this one. Nobody's going to walk up to your front door one morning, bang on the door, and go, "Hey, you guys got any Zija in there for sale?" You're going to have to talk to people. All right, that's a critical part of our business. The cool thing is, people talk to people all the time. Okay, we're talking to people all the time. We talk about sports, talk about politics, talk about the weather, talk about the restaurant we've been eating at, the last movie we saw, and so on. Everybody's networking. We do it all the time, and that's what our business is. So, number one, use the products. Number two, talk to people. But here's the key ingredient. Number three, share the stories. See, this is the magic that separates our type of direct sales business from true direct sales. Okay, most people don't want to be a salesperson, and very few people are successful at direct sales. I mean, it takes a unique type of person and skill set to be good at that, but everybody tells the stories. People say, "So do you like your new car?" And you start to tell the story. "Oh, this is great. It drives so well. I get great gas mileage," or whatever, right? Everybody tells a story, and the story is based upon your personal experience, whether it be the movie that you went to, the restaurant you went to. Share the story. And so in our business, we're a business of storytellers, telling the stories of what happened to you on the product, telling the stories of what happened to others on the product, telling the stories of what happened to you in the business and your personal financial results, and the stories of others. So what do? We share the product, we share the opportunity, and we teach others to do the same. How do we do that? We use the product, we talk to people, and we share the stories. That's it. And so, and literally, you can say that in 30 seconds, and you have learned the foundation of creating what for some of us has become a multi-million-dollar income through direct marketing. Now, let's break it down a little bit more, because there is a system that we use, and it starts with number one, using the products. Okay, use as many of the products as you can. Use them all the time so that you can become a product of the product. I don't want to call myself the perfect example, but I am a good example. Okay, I just turned 63 years old. I can work circles around guys half my age, and you know, I've lost, what are we at now? 35 pounds since I first started in ZJ. I'm at the weight I was in my early 20s. I'm way more healthy, and just between me and you, I look really good. I mean, right? I'm really good. So, and if you disagree with that, don't say anything to anybody. So use the products, become a product of the product, demonstrate what the products can do. Number two, talking to people. Let's break that down a little bit. There is a process to creating your ZJ story. Your story is your financial success. And I'm going to go through a few items real quick, and you should put these in your notes. This is not what the novice networker does. The professional networker does it this way. The cool thing is you don't have to have 10 or 20 or 30 years in the industry like me to understand this. This is what I was taught when I first joined my first network marketing business, and I've used it to create a career and a financial now legacy for even for my children and grandchildren. So number one, create a list. Remember, you got to talk to people, create a list. But I encourage you not just to sit down and think of a few people to talk to. Put together a prospect list. Use a tool. I use what's called a memory jogger. You can find them on the internet. Your sponsor will probably have a memory jogger. I use one that I like a lot. You can reach out to me, email or what have you, text me. I'll send it to you. But use a tool. Tools are what create faster results. Now, using a memory jogger, there's some real key elements to that, okay? It is important. It's just like any other tool. You got to know which end of the hammer to use. One end works real good, the other one doesn't work good at all. Okay. If you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Fred Holmes ZJ. If you go to my YouTube channel, I've done a couple of little training videos on how to use a memory jogger, how to create that initial prospect list, how to set yourself up for immediate results. I encourage you to go there, take a look at it, 8 or 10 minutes, what have you. It's, you know, more detailed, if you will, than what we're going to do this morning. Now, key factor in putting together your list, don't prejudge. Okay, everybody does this, and I have to tell you, it's one of the biggest mistakes a new person will make. When you're putting together your list, don't prejudge who would be interested in your product. Okay, that's not your job. Your job is to use the product, share the stories, talk to people. If you prejudge who would be interested and who wouldn't, you're gonna eliminate some of the best people that could come into your business. And it may not be because of the person you're thinking about, but that person may come in, become a customer, and they may introduce you to somebody who becomes your top distributor. I've had that personal experience in my life, okay, in my ZJ business. So don't prejudge who'd be interested in your products. Don't prejudge who'd be interested in your business. Major mistake. You know, people do this all the time. So-and-so, Mary Lou or whatever, she would not be interested in this business because she's already a successful business owner and makes a ton of money. I guarantee you that's exactly somebody I would want to talk to. It's immaterial whether or not Mary Lou would really be interested in doing the business. She knows the people you're looking for. Successful, busy business owners. She already knows the people you're looking for. So don't prejudge you'd be interested in your product. Don't prejudge you'd be interested in your business. Don't prejudge if they'd be interested in talking to you. Okay, here's a great example. You know, well, the list said put down all the people that I know from high school. Well, if you're a guy like me, it was 106 years ago that I graduated from high school. You know, they wouldn't be interested in talking. I haven't talked to them in 40 years or whatever. Don't prejudge whether they're interested in talking to you. Okay, our industry is just full of stories of people that reached out to old friends they hadn't talked to in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and they found them at the right time, and they offered them an opportunity to get involved with the products or with the opportunity, and it changed their life. So a couple of thoughts on setting up your list. Now, real key, when you make the contacts, this is the talk to people part, There is a system that has been proven time for decades, probably close to 70 years this industry's been around. There's a system that works, and it's real simple. If you use the system, you will get results. If you don't use the system, you may still get results, but they will not be able to be duplicated by the masses, and you cannot create a consumer base of thousands of people by yourself. You must enlist support, if you will, recruit others to join you to help you build that level of business. And so the three-step system, make sure you put this in your notes, there's 3 specific steps to talking to people. Number 1 is the invitation. That's what you do. You invite people to take a look. Number 2, the presentation. The presentation is the information. If you invite somebody to take a look at what you're doing, if you set that invitation up appropriately where you can generate some interest, they're going to say something like, well, I might be interested in that. Tell me all about it, or tell me what you got. Give me some information. That's the second step, the presentation, the providing of information. The challenge here is that you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be the one giving the information. You want to use tools for the presentation. So step 2, the presentation, not done by you. Use tools for that second step. Number 3 is validation. Okay, it's a 3-step system. You invite people to look. When they have interest in looking, you share information with them using tools. And then number 3, you validate the potential of your business using somebody besides you. Now, let me break that down just a little bit. The invitation. Rather than saying something like, I found a way to make a ton of money and I want you to join me, or I got something you're going to love, I've got this great product you need. Okay, you're telling people that they should be looking at this. Inviting people in a manner where they're interested, open, and eager to learn is a whole different thing. Frame your invitation up in a way that is meaningful to the individual. Now, this applies to product people as well, asking somebody to take a look at the product. I'm going to stick with the opportunity because that's really why many of you are here, is you're looking for a way to create additional income. What I do is I try and find something about the individual. What is their need? Maybe it's a young couple and they've been trying to save money to buy a house. Hey, I remember you and Mary talking about trying to save up money to buy a house. I was introduced to a way to create some additional income. It doesn't take a lot of time. Would that be something that you might be interested in? Find something about them that they need and frame up your invitation in that context. Okay, it's always about their frame of reference. All right, if you're talking to a young couple looking for a way to maybe have one of the parents stay home and raise the kids, talk about a way to create a income from home, making that extra $300, $400, $500 a week that would allow one of the parents, typically it's the mom, stay home to raise the kids. You have a traditional one-parent working family. Okay, that would be something they'd be interested in. Don't be talking about making millions, because that's outside of their frame of reference. Conversely, if you're talking to a successful business owner or executive or professional, they're already making $200,000 or $300,000 a year. Let me tell you what they don't have: time freedom. Don't be talking to them about making an extra $100 a week, because they're not interested. Talk to them about a way to create a multiple 6-figure income working part-time from home with time freedom and flexibility. That's going to get their attention. Now, the presentation, the tools, and my personal suggestion, keep the tools short. Don't spend a lot of time sending a ton of information initially. All the presentation information is designed to take you to the 3rd step, to get somebody else, an upline, one of the successful team members, to share their story. Okay, this is really important. You cannot give enough information to somebody that will cause them to want to get involved. Okay, it's a three-step system. You need to have somebody besides yourself validating the opportunity. And it's real important to understand why these things happen. You know, you frame up your invitation that's meaningful to them because you want them to ask for information. Big difference between saying, I want to tell you about this, you need to look at this, versus somebody saying, that sounds like something I might be interested in, tell me about it. When it becomes permission-based, now you're moving in the correct direction. Reason you use tools. When I say tools, I'm talking about, you know, maybe bring them to the Thursday night business presentation webinar that we're doing. Maybe it's a local meeting. Maybe it's a, you know, I don't know. We got videos, we got online videos, we got CDs, we got DVDs. There's just a multitude of different tools that can be used to present the product and the opportunity. The reason you use a tool has to do with you. Okay, if you try to share the information, if you try to talk about the 92 verifiable ingredients in moringa, if you try to talk about the Ken Brailsford story and a billionaire businessman bringing this product to market, here's the problem: you're either going to be too good or too bad. That's it. If you're too good at sharing the information, the person you're talking to may see what we have, but realize they'll never be as good a presenter as you. And that's why you're so successful, because you're a great presenter. If you're too bad at it, you'll never get anybody's attention, because they're not going to be able to see it clearly enough to realize what we have here. Okay, you're either going to be too good or too bad. That's why we use tools to do the presentation. Me personally, I like to limit my tools to, like, 10 or 15 minutes of their time max. I typically send out like the little a link to the little 5-minute Zija introduction, the little tiny introduction to Zija products in the company, and a diamond video. A video of one of the diamonds that shows results. Typically 10 to 15 minutes of their time to look, and then I schedule that upcoming call. I want them to talk to somebody else. Now, a lot of people don't realize that third-party validation, that's something I have to work on. See, a lot of people use my story, or they'll have me go on the phone and do a three-way conversation, a conference call with their prospect to share my story. I have to do the same thing. I've had people say, well, Fred, it must be easy for you to recruit. You make a ton of money. You got the lifestyle going on. Well, that's actually more difficult. People have a hard time believing that they can do what I've been able to achieve. I have to use my downline. I'll take one of my downline distributors and use their story as third-party validation for somebody I may be prospecting. A couple of you over this last 2 weeks did your stories for me as I was prospecting people while I was on my vacation, right? Because if you're living life unlimited, you're doing the natural health revolution everywhere you go. Everybody wants what we got. Everybody wants our products. Everybody wants our opportunity. Why not talk to people wherever you are? So 3 steps when you're talking to people: invitation, presentation, validation. Now, real quickly, I want to give you a couple of concepts that will help you as you go about talking to people. In your notes, write this: 90% opinion, 10% fact. 90% opinion, 10% fact. Now, everybody is an expert on what it is we're talking about. Okay, we're talking about natural health revolution, healthy products. Well, guess what? Everybody eats food. Everybody uses personal care products, deodorant, toothpaste, whatever. Everybody uses household items. Everybody has, goes to the grocery store and gets their, cold medication. Everybody's an expert because they're doing it for themselves. And you cannot change people's opinions with facts. Okay, because most of the knowledge that people have is 90% opinion, only 10% fact. And so when you're dealing with somebody, let's use an example. Well, I believe that too many vitamins is bad for you? Okay, well, I don't know. What's too many? You know, what are vitamins? You know, vitamins the only thing is, you know, don't argue with them about, you know, megadose vitamin therapy is vastly superior to the RDA. You know, what's an RDA? Here's the response, okay? And if you can master this, it will help you answer everybody's question, everybody's objection, everybody's concern. The response is simple. You might even want to write this in your notes. I don't know about that. All I know is, okay, I don't know about that. Okay, I don't know about, you know, how much vitamins you can have or not have or whatever. All I know is a story, and tell the story. You know, I believe that, you know, if people ate right, you know, they wouldn't be overweight. Well, I don't know about that. All I know is I got on these Zija products. I feel better than I've felt in decades. And I weigh today what I weighed 40 years ago. Okay. I don't know about that. All I know is, and perhaps a story of somebody else. If you can master that little technique, you cannot respond. Oh, how about this one? Multi-level marketing. Those things don't work. You know, how do you respond to that? You're stupid. Tell them, you're stupid. You don't know better. That's not going to get you very far. You're right, but it won't get you very far. So how about this one? I don't know about that. All I know is I'm working with a fella, used to be a cross-country truck driver. He's made millions in this industry, and he does it part-time from home. See, you cannot argue with somebody's, you know, once their mind is made up or they have the facts. But you can respond. I don't know about that. All I know is, and share a story. One last thing. Everything that we're doing is designed to create a story. Story of your success on the products, a story of your success in your business, and it's all about creating a consumer base. And the reason I focus on development of distributors is because it creates leverage. If you have a small consumer base, 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, you're going to make some money. If you have a larger consumer base, 100 people, 500 people, 1,000 people, you're going to make more money. If you can get your consumer base up to, you know, 1,000, 2,000, what have you, you're going to make a lot of money. And if you get it up to 10,000 or more, you're going to have my paycheck. But you can't do it by yourself. The concept here is developing a consumer. Instead of doing it one at a time by direct sales, getting people on the product, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is 4. I was taught to focus on the universal need. I mean, certainly lots of people are interested in good nutrition or, you know, essential oils or, you know, sports and whatever, okay? But not everybody's interested in all of those things. However, here's your universal need. Everybody is interested in having more money, more free time, or more fun in their life. I want you to think about this. It has nothing to do with products, okay? Everybody wants more money, more free time, more fun. And I challenge you to find somebody that isn't interested in one of those items. I was doing a training one time, and one of the people in the audience said, I said, who do you know isn't interested in more money, more free time, more fun? And the person in the front row, a young gal, thought she'd be pretty smart. She said, well, you, Fred, you're not interested. And I thought, now there you go. You're prejudging again. Of course I'm interested in more money. Now, do I need more money? No, I don't need more money. Okay. Would I be interested in more money? Sure. You know why? The more money I have, the more things I can do for others. A long time ago, I hit the level of income for me that I needed for me and my family, my loved ones. The more money I make, the more good I do for others. Okay, it's just real simple like that. So the minute you start, you know, thinking in terms of universal needs, then you're going to start focusing on leverage. So for example, if I get one new distributor and I teach them how to get 2, their first 2, that's the foundation of our compensation plan. and then I help those 2 people get their first 2. Now I've got 4 people on the second level of my new guy, and then I help those 4 people get their 2, and I help those 8 people get their 2. I have a consumer base that's starting to grow exponentially. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 30. 30 people. Now we call them distributors, but they're also consumers. All of us consume the product. They're really the only difference. Distributors tend to consume more product than a typical customer, which kind of makes sense. You know, we're familiar with the company's product offerings. We're interested in trying other products. A lot of people, that first, you know, $100, $200, $300 a month in Zija profits they make just helps them get extra family members on the products to try a few products themselves. Myself personally, I use lots and lots of Zija products every month. I don't even know how much it is. I know it's a lot of money. And, you know, one, I use those products because they make a difference in my life. Number 2, I use all those products because I can, because the cost of the product is not an issue to me. Okay, so those 30 distributors, they're consumers, but they're higher level consumers. And once you understand the power of our products, this will make sense to you. Those 30 people, they're very likely to get 1 or 2 or 3 friends on the product without doing anything. I mean, you know, new gal loses 12 pounds her first month on Zija. You think the other gals in the office are going to want to know about it? Yeah, duh. And see, very quickly, by starting with 1 person, helping them get 2 people like themselves, people who would like more money, more free time, or more fun, and then helping those 2 people, and so on and so on. Now I've got 30 consumers, and without anybody really doing any sales, I can go to 60, 90, 120 consumers, but I started with 1 person. Now you're starting to see the difference between the novice networker and the professional. It's just some simple concepts, but doing the correct activities on a daily basis for a prolonged period of time. So that's really the foundation of the Saturday morning fast start training. First things first, understand what we do. We share the product, we share the opportunity, and we teach others to do the same. How do we do that? Use the product, talk to people, share the stories. That's the foundation. And then, of course, elaborating on that, talking to people, put together a memory jogger list. When I did this, and let me just share with you my story, because ultimately that's the bottom line on what this is about, is supposed to be, okay? Christine, the team meeting is tonight, not last night. Sorry about that, folks. Got distracted. I shouldn't have my phone sitting right here, right? Everything we're teaching right now is designed to create your story. And for those of you that joined Zija looking to have a higher level of success, a replacement level of income, maybe go beyond that, go into some, you know, a level of financial security, or maybe even financial prosperity, what you do in the beginning to get your business going is going to be critical to your long-term success. This was the #1 factor in what has happened to me in Zija. Is I already knew this. I already understood the day I launched my Zija business, my #1 priority was to create my fast start story. And what I did, I put together my list. I divided into 2 categories. Okay, people I was going to share the product with, people I was going to share the opportunity with. Out of my first 12 people that I shared the product with, 6 of them joined or bought the product from me. I had 6 customers that first week. Now, 2 key things here. #1, I talked to a dozen people the first week because I wanted a fast start story. I could not get 6 customers my first week by talking to 1 person. Okay, so there's some magic right there. #2, I screened my list of those 12 people that I put on my initial potential customer list. A number of them were people who were going to buy the product from me anyway. Okay, I call them the sympathy sales. They were going to buy the product anyway. You know, my sister, I had a good buddy that was absolutely guaranteed to buy the product from me. He needed it bad. He trusted me, and he liked me, and I just knew he'd help me out. My other list was people I was going to share the opportunity with. I had 12 names on that list to start with, and out of those 12 names, 3 of them joined the business, and they all bought diamond kits like I did. Okay, and guess what? That was by design. All right, your average numbers, most people it's 1 in 10. Talk to 10 people, you get 1 distributor. I had way better than average numbers simply because I pre-screened the list. One of the first things I did was make sure that the people on that list had a credit card. I mean, that's kind of stupid to think about that, but you know, I didn't go after people that had just asked me to borrow money to help them pay the rent. Okay, wrong person to be talking to about building a business with. So pre-screened the list, created a story. I started with a diamond pack, and within 2 weeks I was in profit, and within my first year I created a full-time income working part-time from home. So let me do this. I promised I'd be doing some questions here, and for the balance of the hour that we have allotted, I'll take some questions from the team here. Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, man. Okay. Hi, Fred. Welcome home. Thank you. Thank you. Hello from Medicine Hat. Welcome. Good morning, all. See if I can get this opened up a little bit here. Carrie Ann from Medicine Hat. I actually know where that's at. Laura Lee. Hello. Thank you, ma'am. Pre-screening versus pre-judging, big difference. Oh, very good. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate it. Bruce said that there's a big difference between pre-screening people and pre-judging them. Nothing wrong with pre-screening people, okay? Pre-judging them, you're going to lose people. So, and I see Sandy, you raised a hand. And Sandy, if you want, you can, in your chat, give me a question. And folks, if you have a question, feel free to give it to me right now. Got most of you dialed in or from the webinar. That's very good. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate that comment. So your opportunity, if there are any questions, go ahead, put it in the chat. There's a chat box there. I don't know what, I see it at the bottom of my screen. It really depends on the platform you're using. And I'll give you just another minute here. What's the easiest way to tell someone? Okay, very good. This is from, unfortunately, when you put in, here's a little suggestion for you, okay? This tool, this video conferencing tool, this is the wave of the future. I'm going to tell you right now, the number one reason that my business has started to increase at the pace it is now has because I no longer can travel, but I can meet everybody face to face. Video conferencing is key. Now you have a real problem here is Hanaran. I have no idea who Hanaran is. Okay, when you set up your Zoom account, put your name in there. Okay, that's simple. Put your name in there so people can see who you are. If you'll notice, look at my screen, it says I'm Fred Holmes. So the question is, what's the easiest way to tell someone how to get their ROI, return on investment, back? Hang on 1 second for me, guys. I'll be right with you. Apologies, folks. The joys of running a home-based business. Okay, back to the question. I.e., how many customers do you need in your business on the average to get your $1,300 investment back in general terms? Jeannie. Okay. Question is, how do I tell somebody to get a return on their investment if and the suggestion was here the diamond kit. Real simple. 3 people that you enroll with diamond kits, you're in profit. Okay, don't run down that path of how many customers do I need, because honestly, there's a big difference between first order bonus and back end residual. And if you did the math, I mean, I can do the math with you, but it's going to be unbelievable to the novice networker to you know, how many people you need to have using the product, reordering every week, average auto ship, seed your rewards order, to create the volume necessary and the team commissions to get the you know, whatever, $1,300 in a month, whatever. Okay, most people don't get that they can have an organization with thousands of people in it. All right, so the answer to the question, how do I get a return on my investment? Real simple. Whatever you start, if you start with a gold pack, if you start with a diamond pack, because you got 50% first order commission, enroll 3 and you're in profit. Pure and simple. Okay, more important than that, show them how they can build a business. As simple as use the product, you know, talk to people, share the stories. That's what, if people believe that it's simple, that if it looks like it'll work and they think they can do it, they'll get involved. Don't get hung up on facts and figures, because, you know, percentage of ROI time. Don't get hung up on that, because none of that sells the story. Get one of your upline distributors, somebody like myself or whoever, and again, I don't know who your upline diamonds are. Get them to share their story. Okay, it's the stories that cause people to want to get involved, not the facts, not the figures. All right, so enough on that. How to get people to follow up after sending links and tools in email. People are either not watching them, hard to get a hold of them. Okay, this is from Lizzie. All right, Lizzie, the question is from Lizzie, how do I get people to do what I want them to do? Okay, that's the real question. How do I get them to be able to follow up on them after I've sent them the presentation information? How do I get them to watch the videos that I sent them? Okay, here's the answer to that question. Okay, the real question is, how do I get people to do what I want them to do? All right, here's the answer. You can't get people to do what you want them to do. Okay, sorry about that. You can't get anybody to do what you want them to do. The best you can hope for is that you can get people to want to do what you want them to do. So let's put this into our system: the invitation, the presentation, the validation. Okay, the invitation. How do you get people to want to watch those videos? The invitation. If the invitation was set up in a way that it is so intriguing to them, so powerful for them, that you've hit them where they need what they need, then they'll be anxiously waiting for the information. Okay, take a guy like me. Why was I interested in getting involved in network marketing company? Because I desperately needed to find a way to create a 6-figure income so I could provide for the educational needs that my son had that the school district wasn't going to provide for. I was incredibly open to hearing about any way to solve that problem. And the person that introduced me made it simple. Okay, it would look simple, it looked like it would work, and I thought I could do it. Okay, I had a great need, and what I saw was lots of other people that weren't a lot different than me that had what I wanted. Your invitation will cause people to want to look at your information. Now, number 2, you know, how do you get them to watch the videos? Don't send too much information. People are busy. They don't have time to sit down and watch 47 different videos and read 2,000 pages of documentation on Moringa. Folks, if it takes more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes outside for them to review your information, you're probably messing up the deal, because they're not going to do that. Now, finally, how do you get them to do the follow-up? Now, by that, I'm assuming you mean follow up with an upline, so the upline can share the story if you're using those three-step system: invitation, presentation, validation. First of all, create a sense of urgency. Okay, I don't let people, I never let anybody off the hook. I'll say, well, I found a way for you to be able to secure your retirement, so you won't have to work until you die. Very meaningful to the individual. Tell me all about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a little information, 2 little videos. I want you to learn a little bit about us, a little bit about who I'm working with, and I want you to meet the people I'm working with. Share a story. I'm working with a fellow that's making a ton of money. I'm working with Amy McKenzie, single mom, put her daughter through school, now drives a Mercedes, had no previous experience. I'm working with Dee Dee Shaw, homeschools a dozen kids, works from home, she's a diamond, made a 6-figure income. Share the story. And I want you to meet the people I'm working with. Now, here's a sense of urgency. When will you have 12 minutes to look at this? The 2 videos combined, 13 minutes. When will you have 13 minutes to look at this? And then hush up, wait for the answer. When will you have 13 minutes? Most people say, when will you have some free time? I never ask when people have free time, because nobody's got any free time. Think about it. When was the last time you had free time? There's work time, there's take care of the kids time, there's pay bills time, mow the lawn time. If there's any time left over, I guarantee it's not free time, it's my time. Okay, so don't be using that term free time. When will you have 13 minutes? And get an answer. Well, I could probably, do this after dinner. Terrific. I will get back with you after dinner. What's best? 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock? What works best for you? Make it 9:30 once I get the kids down. You got it. Call you at 9:30. Now, get your prospect or your upline support team, get somebody ready to do the 3-way call with you. Introduce them. 24-hour follow-up. Max 48 hours, maybe, if it's a really strong prospect. I want to do this now. Do it now. Do it now. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Lizzie, oh geez, you guys just took me serious when I said question. Can you please share what tools you use the most? All right, I use, okay, this is from AJ. Folks, I'll share with you what I use, but it doesn't make any difference what I use. All right, this is something that I just realized I missed in our Saturday morning. I had 2 concepts I wanted to share with you. One was the 90% opinion, 10% fact. The other one is concepts versus techniques. Okay, I don't teach techniques. Techniques are where do you go, what do you say, who do you talk to, what do you do. Okay, techniques are not duplicatable by everybody. So I teach concepts. Now, obviously, everybody's going to have their own little technique, but I encourage you, if you have a little special technique that works really well for you, you go to grocery stores, stand out front with a clipboard, and ask people if they're willing to take a survey on the shopping they just did. Okay, 1 out of 10 people will take a minute and give you that information, and then you can, that's a technique for generating potential customer leads. Okay, I can't tell you that it's very fun. I can tell you that anybody could do it. The problem is that most people won't do it, and so I don't teach it. Did I do it at one point in time? Sure I did. Did I generate potential customer leads? Of course I did. Pretty much anything you do enough of is going to work, but I don't teach concepts. And so what tools do I use the most? I'll tell you, okay, but that's unique and individual to me and my situation. Okay, here's my real recommendation. Use the tools that affected you. Okay, because if they affect you, then you're going to have that presence of it being a great thing. And people are going to pick up on that. People communicate with feelings, not with words. Okay, me personally, because I work from home, because I'm not out in the field, I don't get the opportunity to be out in the field. If I leave the house, there's an incredible amount of scheduling that takes place, and I'm going to go to the gym. All right, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm not going to go work my Zija business on that rare opportunity that I get a couple of hours away from home. Just telling you like it is. So I do all my business from home. And what I do, I'll pick up the phone, do an invitation that way. I will send out an email. I typically use the 5-minute introduction to Zija video and a diamond video. And I keep it real short and sweet. Check out these 2 little information videos. I'll be back to you shortly. I'll be back to you tonight at 8 o'clock, whatever. Okay, and I have the email pre-formatted, ready to send out, just a point and click, point and click. That's what I use. But I'm not going to suggest that's what everybody should use. That is just what works well for me. Pick tools that are meaningful to you, that affect you, because you're going to present those tools more effectively. All right, thank you, Fred. It's what I needed. Oh, really? Well, thank you, my dear. Appreciate that. The product affecting their heart medication products should we recommend? Okay, looks like it's Carrie Ann, no last name. What do you tell someone who is concerned about the product affecting their heart medication? What products should we recommend? Okay, now be real clear on this, and I got like 60 seconds. Okay, be real clear on this. You're not the doctor. Don't put on your lab coat. Don't be telling people, you know, that they don't have to worry about their medication, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Okay, stick with Moringa, Super Mix, Smart Mix. Okay, and my go-to product, Super Mix. I would just say something like, well, the core nutrition product, Moringa, it's helped lots of people with blood pressure issues, with cholesterol and that sort of thing. But if you're concerned about it affecting your blood pressure, you might want to take it to your doctor. But I'll ask you this simple question: has your doctor told you that it's okay to eat healthy, to have fruits and vegetables? Has your doctor told you that you should be staying away from certain kinds of foods? Because that's all this is. It's Moringa, healthiest thing out there. Note to self, turn the phone off. So, obviously, if they're looking for weight loss, be real concerned about the thermogenic products, XMAM, XM Burn, XM3. I would not put anybody with any kind of cardio, blood pressure issues shouldn't be on those products. Let's get them on Zija. Okay, let's get them on Moringa, and then they'll be able to, alleviate those problems. So I'm now at the top of the hour. See if there's any more burning questions. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. That's helpful. Good. Well, hopefully I've answered a few questions. Folks, I'm very excited about what's happening right now. Just got off the Diamond Club call just before this call. And I can tell you right now, we are shaping up to have the biggest year in Zija we've ever had. I've been with the company now, I guess, 10 years. This is going to be the year that sets the pace for Zija International. I'm going to have a short team meeting this evening. Any member of my organization, you've either already gotten the email or you've gotten the text. If you're not getting that, folks, get on my email list. All right, go to my website, fredholmes.com, click on contact, scroll to the bottom of the page, enroll in my newsletter. I'm not going to send an email out to you individually. Long gone are those days. If you're not on my team text list, text me. I'll put you on the team text list. But that'll be 5 p.m. Pacific tonight. There's a different webinar link on that. So with that, okay, I'm out of here. I got to go. Folks, been fun. I'm looking forward to doing this. We're going to continue Saturday morning fast start trainings and Thursday evening business presentation webinars through the balance of this period. We'll talk more about that on the team meeting. I'm out of here. Thank you for your questions, folks. Been great. Been fun. I'm excited to be being back in town and looking forward to working with all of you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you. Bye-bye.